A love triangle in which a delicate girl is torn between her passion for a mysterious vampire and her deep connection with the protective werewolf, both battling for her heart. The movie starts with 17-year-old Bella, who was moving from Arizona to Washington to her dad Charlie, and he was the police chief of the town. Bella was going to her father because her parents had separated and her mother had remarried. She goes there and meets Jacob and his father. Jacob's father was a very good friend of Bella's father, and Jacob gifts Bella a truck and which she immediately starts using to get around town. Bella now goes to school and makes some new friends there. After that, she is having lunch with her friends. She goes to school and makes some new friends there. After that, she is having lunch with her friends. Then, the Cullen family's entrance happens, and their family includes Rosalie, Alice, and others. Bella's friend then tells her about all of them, and as she's explaining, Edward enters. He is the last member of the Cullen family and the most handsome one. Bella's friend mentions that all of them seem very mysterious. They live with each other and they don't have any new friends yet. They have never talked to anyone and have never made any friends. After that, Bella sits with Edward in the class of the bio. Edward behaves very strangely, and as soon as the class is over, he immediately leaves from there. Now Bella thinks about Edward's strange behavior all day, and she also thinks about confronting him the next day. But Edward doesn't come to school the next day. In fact, not one day, but many days he doesn't come to school. Now Bella keeps waiting for him. After that, the scene shifts to a building where a man is running to save his life, but then two people catch him and kill him. After this, the scene shifts to Bella. Bella's father tells her not to wait for him at dinner because he had to go for a case where a man was killed by animals. Now Bella's father is talking about the same man which we saw in the first scene, and we know that there is no one else to kill him but humans. After this, Bella goes to school where the class of the bio starts there. Bella is very surprised to see Edward sitting there, and the more surprising thing was that Edward himself talks to Bella, and there is a good interaction between the two. Bella also tells Edward the reason to come in Forks. Then Bella suddenly notices that Edward's eye color has changed, on which Edward gets confused and leaves from there. And now Bella comes to her truck to go back to her house after school. Then a car is about to hit her, but Edward comes there and saves her. At the same time, there is a big dent on the opposite car as Edward just stops the car with his hand. Bella is very surprised to see this. When Bella goes to the hospital, she meets Mr. Cullen there, who is Edward's stepfather. When Bella tells him that Edward has saved her, then he reacts very strangely. After that, Bella sees Edward talking to Rosalie and Cullen. Bella calls Edward to her and asks him how he did all this, but Edward refuses everything and leaves from there. And now Bella was getting attracted to Edward day by day, but Edward was avoiding her. Then one day Edward himself comes to Bella's school, and Bella invites Edward to a beach party. Now Bella is waiting for Edward at the beach. Jacob comes there with his friends. Jacob's friend tells her that Cullens does not come to the beach. Bella asks Jacob about it. Jacob tells her that his family is linked to the wolf. Those people saw Cullens hunting in this area, but Cullens was different, and then there was a pact between Cullens and the wolf. According to this, those people will not come to the wolf's area, and the wolf will not go to their area. Now Bella is very scared after hearing all this and asks Jacob about Edward. Jacob tells him that these are just stories and he avoids the matter. Bella thinks a lot about Jacob's words and then starts researching all these things. Bella goes shopping with her friends and she goes to buy a book at a bookstore alone at night. Then some boys follow Bella. She tries to escape from those boys, but then Edward comes there and saves her from those boys and takes her with him. Bella starts questioning Edward again, but he tells her that he wants to stay away from her. But Bella needed him, so he came here to help her. Edward tells Bella that he can read minds. In fact, he can read the mind of every person sitting in the restaurant, but he was not able to read Bella's mind. That's why he gets very disappointed, and this has never happened. Edward tells Bella that he is not able to stay away from Bella even if he wants to, and now Bella goes home and finds out that Edward is a vampire. The next day Bella goes to school and takes Edward to a mountain, and there she tells him to confront Edward. There Edward tries to scare Bella a lot, but Bella tells him that I know that you can't hurt me. After this Edward takes Bella to the top of the mountain, where Edward's body starts shining when the sun's rays fall. Now Edward tries to scare Bella again and get her away from him, but when Bella does not agree, Edward tells her that his family is different from other vampires. They only drink animal blood. And now Edward tells Bella that he has been waiting for her for hundreds of years and now, his wait is over. The next day Edward takes Bella to school with him, on which everyone is very surprised to see those people, and Edward tells Bella the history of his family. That is how Mr. Cullen changed them into vampires to save them. He tells that they all have special abilities, that he can read minds and Alice's can see future. Now Edward takes Bella to his house, where Rosalie is not very happy to see Bella because by involving a human, according to her, the family secret could have been disclosed. But Edward does not take her words seriously and takes Bella on a tour of the house. Bella and Edward spend a quality time. On the other hand, the vampire hunt was increasing day by day. Because of this, everyone in the town was in a lot of tension. Edward comes to Bella's room and there they talk to each other all night. After Bella sleeps, Edward keeps looking at her with love all night. And then the next day, Edward meets Bella's father and he takes her with him by taking permission from him. Bella is watching Cullen playing baseball. And then James, Victoria, and Laurette come there. And these people are the same vampires who have been hunting in Forks for so long. Now those people had found out about Bella and Edward's relationship. Then James starts attacking Bella, on which Cullen forces them to leave there, and Edward tells Bella that James is a tracker. He never stops, so now he will have to kill him. And now Bella hurts her father to save him and goes out of the house with Edward, saying that she is now going to her mother. And now Cullen's family makes a plan to save Bella. So Alice takes Bella with her, and the rest of the members are ready for the hunt. Now Rosalie set a trap by spreading Bella's scent to throw James off. But James quickly figures out their plan and changes his approach. He tracks down Bella's old address, kidnaps her mother, and uses her as bait. James calls Bella, threatening her mother's life and forcing her to come alone, without the Cullens. Desperate to save her mom, Bella walks straight into his trap. When Bella arrives, she quickly realizes her mother is completely safe. It was all a trap. As she tries to escape, James catches her effortlessly and violently throws her aside, by which Bella's head hits the wall. And that's when Edward enters there and saves Bella from James. Because Edward is fast, he reaches there first. And when Edward starts taking Bella from there, James grabs him again and throws him away. Bella crashes into the mirror. She starts bleeding a lot. James bites Bella. Edward takes him away from there. There is a lot of fight between the two. Then Cullens also reach there, and they kill and burn James. Then Edward comes and extracts the blood of James from the Bella's wrist and stops her from becoming a vampire, and takes her to the hospital. When Bella comes to her senses, she finds out that she has a leg fracture. When Bella recovers, Jacob comes and asks her to break up with Edward, but she refuses to do this. After Edward and Bella share a romantic dance, Edward refuses Bella that he will not make her a vampire. And on the other hand, Victoria's eyes were on them, so that she may take revenge of James's death. And when Bella turns 18, she gets a dream on her birthday. She is getting old like her grandmother, and Edward is still young and handsome. After this, Alice arranges Bella's birthday party at Cullens' house. But while opening the gift there, blood starts coming out of Bella's finger, which Edward's cousin can't tolerate, and he attacks Bella, on which Edward takes Bella away. And when Bella goes away, more blood comes out of her arm. Then Cullens tells everyone to leave and controls her blood. And now Mr. Cullens bandages Bella and tells her that Edward considers himself a monster and he thinks that he will go to hell. And this is the reason that he doesn't want to change you into a vampire. After this, when Edward leaves Bella at home, then Bella tries to convince him again that he should change her into a vampire. And in this way, he can never protect her forever. But Edward doesn't listen to her at all. The next day, Edward comes to Bella and tells her that Cullens is leaving Forks. He also tells Bella to end his relationship because he felt that he couldn't protect Bella. And because of that, Bella's life will always be in danger. Bella wants to stop Edward, but Edward has left from there. And now Bella falls into the woods while crying. On the other hand, Bella's father was very upset, but Jacob's friend rescues Bella and brings her there. When her father sees Bella, he becomes very calm. And now Bella can't bear Edward going away like this, and also gets panic attacks. She keeps herself away from everyone. Her father was also very upset to see her condition. He says to send her back to her mother, but Bella refuses and makes her father sure that she will be completely normal. And now Bella goes for recreation with her friend at night. She sees the same rough bikers there, and she remembers how Edward had saved her. She goes on a bike ride with them, but Edward doesn't come. Bella only knows Edward's visions, but she again comes to her friend. And now after this, Bella wanted to forget Edward, so she goes to Jacob and shows him motorbikes and tells him to fix them. And now Jacob couldn't refuse Bella. That's why he starts fixing the bike, and that's when Jacob's friends come there. Now Bella starts spending as much time as possible with Jacob, and now Jacob gets the bike ready. Bella goes on a bike ride. She gets Edward's visions again and she falls down from the bike. Bella goes to see a movie with her school friends and Jacob, where Jacob proposes to Bella, but she tells him that he is a very good friend of hers and she doesn't want to lose her friendship because of the relationship. Jacob, seeing Bella's condition, says that he will always be with her and will never let her down. Bella notices that Jacob is getting very hot as if he has a fever. Jacob ignores all these things and goes away from there. After that day, Jacob starts avoiding Bella. Bella was not able to understand why Jacob was doing this. That's why now she can't tolerate this and goes to meet Jacob. She goes and sees that Jacob has cut his hair. He has also made a tattoo on his arm. He tells Bella to go away from there, but Bella didn't understand why Jacob was doing this all of a sudden. Jacob talks to Bella very rudely. He says to Bella to go away from there. As being hurt, Bella goes to the meadow where she often goes with Edward. She meets Laurette there. He came to check on Victoria, saying that the Cullens were still protecting Bella or not. He starts attacking her by seeing Bella alone, but at the same time, the wolves come there and saves her life and runs away from there. Bella goes to her father and tells him that she has seen wolves. After this she goes to meet Jacob, where she sees that Jacob's condition is very bad. She feels bad and goes to his his friend and starts fighting with him. Then his friend turns into a wolf and starts attacking Bella. Then Jacob turns into a wolf and protects Bella. Now Bella finds out that these are all wolves and they hunt vampires. Jacob tells Bella that they have killed Laurette, and now they are behind Victoria. On the other side, Bella's father goes to hunt wolves with his friends. Victoria comes there. A wolf silently attacks Victoria while saving Bella's father. Bella had no information about this, that Victoria has come back, and she starts doing her adventures because Jacob was not giving Bella time now. On the other side, a lot of wolves were behind Victoria. Victoria jumps very high to save her life, and Bella also jumps. Victoria was about to reach Bella. Suddenly Jacob comes there and saves Bella, and he goes to leave Bella at home. He reaches home and sees that Cullen's car was standing. When Bella goes home, she sees Alice come to meet her, and she saw this vision that Bella has tried to commit suicide. And when Bella asks Alice about Edward, she tells her that Edward talks to them very little. Jacob comes there and Alice gets angry to see him there and leaves. When Bella is talking to Jacob, a call comes from Edward. Jacob picks it up and tells a lie to Edward that Bella has died and her father is preparing for her funeral. And now Alice comes to Bella and tells her that ever since Edward has heard the news of your death, he is going to surrender himself to Turius so that he can also die. Turius was the oldest and most dangerous vampire, and when you have to kill a vampire, they go to Volturi. Now even after Jacob stopped a lot, Bella goes with Alice to stop Volturius Edward. But on the way, Alice gets this vision that Volturi has refused to kill Edward. That's why now Edward will show himself to humans so that the people of Volturi kill him. Bella runs to Edward so that she can stop him, and now Edward has exposed himself. But before anyone sees, Bella hugs him and takes him inside. After seeing Bella alive, Edward is very happy. The people of Volturi come there and they take them both to Arrow. And now Arrow finds out that Edward can't read Bella's mind. Neither he tells a vampire to attack Bella, so they can find out whether Bella can control all power or not. But Edward himself comes forward and starts controlling the pain he has given. But when those people give Bella pain, nothing happens to Bella. Now everyone thinks that Bella is a threat to them, so the people of Volturi decide to kill Bella. When a vampire starts attacking Bella, Edward stops him and the fight starts there. But it was very difficult for Edward to defeat that vampire when that vampire is about to kill Edward. Bella stops him and gets ready to sacrifice herself. Seeing this, Arrow is very surprised to hear this, that a human is sacrificing himself for a vampire. And when Arrow is about to kill Bella, then Alice stops Arrow, saying that Bella is about to convert into a vampire. And she has seen this vision that she will transform Bella into a vampire. Listening to this, Arrow lets her go from there. And now Edward promises Bella that he will never leave her because now he has understood that they can't live without each other. Bella wants to convert into a vampire, but Edward still didn't want this. Then Bella takes a vote from the Cullens family, and everyone except Rosalie says yes. And Bella says to wait until graduation, so that she can say a good goodbye to her father. When Edward is driving, then suddenly Jacob comes in front of him, and he says to Edward that if those people convert Bella into a vampire, then Wolf will also start hunting his family. Bella stops Jacob and says that she wants this, on which Jacob and Edward start fighting. Bella says to Jacob that she loves him very much, but if she has to choose between him and Edward, then she will choose Edward. Hearing this, Jacob gets angry and leaves from there. And now Edward tells her that if she wants to transform her into a vampire, then she will have to marry Edward first. After this, we see Seattle, which was not far from Forks. There Victoria attacks Riley and converts him into a vampire. Now, we see Edward and Bella again in Forks. Now Edward was proposing to Bella again for marriage, but Bella was very scared because of her parents' separation. She thinks that marriage is a piece of paper and nothing else. Bella tells him to convert her into a vampire, but Edward repeatedly keeps the same condition, that Bella will have to marry him first. Bella's father comes home and tells her to meet other people other than Edward, and Jacob needs her the most. He supported her a lot in Bella's difficult time, on which Bella feels very guilty. She calls Jacob and goes to meet him. She finds out that Edward has spoiled her truck, so that she doesn't do this. He tells Bella that I don't trust Jacob. A wolf can do anything in anger. And then the next day Bella is talking to all her friends, then Alice gets a vision. Edward reads her mind, but he doesn't tell Bella anything. And when Bella stands with her father, Edward reminds her that his family has booked a ticket for her, so that Bella can go to her mother and spend time before graduation. And now Bella goes to her mother. Bella's mother gives her a graduation gift. She has a good time with her mother. Victoria comes in Forks to the house of Cullens. Then Alice tells everything to all about her vision about Victoria, and all people go for the hunting of Victoria. Now they search for Victoria and chases her for her hunting. Now it was tough to chase Victoria. She had gone to the place of wolves. Wolves also begin to come behind Victoria, but no one can catch her, and she runs from there. Next day, when Bella goes to school with Edward, Jacob is already there and he warns Edward that no vampire will step in their region for the next time. At the same time, Edward tells Bella that he had sent her to her mother for this cause, because Alice had seen the vision of Victoria. Bella says to Jacob that he has been avoiding her for a long time, and she asks Edward to trust in her, and goes with Jacob to clear her misunderstanding. And Jacob explains to Bella too much that she may not convert into a vampire, but Bella tells him that she has taken this decision. When he observes this, that Bella will not be convinced by him. Then he clears all the matters between them. On the other side, Riley detects everything, going into Bella's house. Later, he takes Bella's shirt with him, and Riley does not harm Bella's father and leaves from there. After this, Bella's father becomes furious on Bella's late coming. When he comes to know that Bella is with Jacob, then he does not say her anything because he likes Jacob. Then the door is knocked and Edward appears there. He had come to see Bella because he was worried for her. Then Edward feels that a vampire had come in the house of Bella, and Alice also does not know about this in her visions. Who was that vampire? But she tells this fact that she was not Victoria. Then Cullen's family decides this. They will guard Bella's house because they fear that Victoria is making a great plan. Now Bella also takes the help of Jacob. Now wolves in the morning time while vampires at night guard Bella's house. Now Edward goes for hunting, leaving Bella with Jacob. And Jacob brings Bella in a council meeting. Jacob's father tells a story to all, how the tribe's leader had rescued his tribe while confronting vampires. How his wife had given a chance to herself while sacrificing, that she may kill vampires and wolves fight with vampires is going on from that time. The scene shifts to Riley, who was gathering fresh vampires on Victoria's orders, so that she may take revenge on Cullen's family of the death of James. And the death news of people on social media was increasing day by day. Now Cullens were so worried on this, so they decided they will move to Seattle and know who are these people. Bella's father is seated while opening the file of Riley when Bella returns to home, because Riley's parents were visiting to learn about him again and again. Bella says to her father that Riley's parents should forget him now. His father replies that he may do the same if he was at the place of Riley's parents. Hearing this, Bella is again indulged in a great thought, and Edward takes advantage of this and he forbids Bella that she may not turn into a vampire. When Bella again comes to Jacob on the coming day, then he also tries to explain to her that she will never feel the need to transform if she accepts his proposal, and also she will not have to go far from her family. But Bella didn't reply to him. After, when Jacob comes to drop Bella at home, then Edward shows his rage towards him coming there. When Bella's father asks the reason behind this, then Jacob discloses that he is the one responsible for this situation. He had tried to misbehave with Bella. When Bella comes to the house of Cullens, then Rosalie leaves that place after being furious at her sight. When Bella asks Rosalie why does she dislike her much, then Rosalie tells Bella that she does not despise her but feels so ill for her. If she had the option to choose to be human or a vampire, then she would prefer to be human, but Bella is doing wrong. Then Rosalie tells her story, how her friend misbehaved with her and had left her on the road. Then Mr. Cullen transformed her into a vampire after seeing her. Although Rosalie took her revenge, but she could not attain the state of human life again. Now Volturi group arrives there because of the spread of blood in town and newborn vampires. Now they leave them there despite killing them. They wanted to know, why is this new army being built? Contrarily, there was going on a party regarding the success of graduation at Cullen's home, and Jacob also comes there on the call of Bella. At the same time, Alice visualizes something there and she tells everyone that Riley is approaching to attack Bella, accompanied by newborn vampires. She does not know who is behind all of these actions, but a terrible fight is going to occur. Now Jacob was also there. He gets ready to support Cullen's family for Bella's protection, knowing it later. When Bella stops Jacob, then he keeps her mouth shut, saying so, that it was you who wants these wolves and vampires to work together as being united, and it is happening the same. Wolves are also ready to help Cullen's family. Then Bella has a nightmare where she sees that Victoria is behind all factors. She tells Edward that Victoria is responsible for all matters. She has taken a side after building a new army, so that she may attack me. Then Jacob moves to a forest, taking Bella, so she may know about this, whether Bella's fragrance is there or not, and their plan succeeded. On the opposite side, Alice permits from Bella's father to stay with her, telling a lie. Bella meets with Edward when she goes to Cullen's home, and she wants to stay with him, but Edward proposes her for marriage at first, and Bella accepts Edward's proposal of marriage. The scene moves to Victoria, where she was flirting Riley to entrap him. Saying this, she sends Riley alone to fight. On the other side, Bella is seen who was smearing her blood on the different places, so the newborn vampires army fight on that place, following the marks. That is best for Cullens and the wolves. After this, Jacob takes Bella to the peak of the mountain, where Bella will be secure. Jacob and Edward stay with Bella at night, and Bella feels so cold because of the storm at night. In the same way, Jacob is so heated because of being wolf, he makes Bella's temperature normal after hugging her. Later, Bella nods off. Now conversation is held between Jacob and Edward. Jacob says to Edward, "What will you do if Bella selects me?" Edward replies that, "I will let Bella go." Next day, Bella and Edward are talking about their marriage. Jacob hears this and he becomes furious with Bella. She explains to Jacob that she has much liking for Edward, but she is unable to understand the deep connection with Jacob. On the other side, the newborn vampire army comes to attack Cullens. Now wolves also appear to support Cullens, and there is prolonged fight between two groups here. They were not only fighting here but also guarding one another. Meanwhile, Riley knows that Bella is not there. He reaches Bella while searching for her. Edward tries to explain to Riley that Victoria is only using him as a tool. Meanwhile, Victoria also arrives there and she begins to assure Riley that she is deeply in love with him. When Riley is going to attack Edward, then a wolf attacks him, appearing there. Victoria begins to flee but Edward stops her. There is a great time fight between Edward and Riley. Then Riley also comes to help Victoria after killing a wolf. Now they both capture Edward and they are nearly to kill him. In the meantime, Bella makes a wound on her hand and diverts their attention. Wolf kills Riley on this, coming there, and Edward hunts Victoria, and he cremates her body. Afterward, they both relocate to the Cullen family. Then a left vampire there attacks a wolf. Jacob fights while saving him. He becomes so bruised. Then Alice has a vision in the meantime. Volturi Coven is approaching there. Then they send the wolves back from there. Volturi group soon warns them, coming there, that they must convert Bella into a vampire soon. Otherwise, Arrow will not be good with them. Bella says to them this, the date of transformation has been finalized and she will soon be turned into a vampire. And Mr. Cullen treats Jacob, moving there. Later, Bella runs into Jacob, who asks her to reconsider her decision again. But Bella overlooks his all words and leaves that place. The ending is shown, where Bella and Edward were deciding their final marriage date. After this, the movie completes the scene. Twilight is not just a love story. It is a battle for the survival of different types of lives. Will Bella choose love and become a vampire? Or will she save her life and get out of this love triangle? Stay connected with us to watch the full story, and also like and subscribe.